Now we're going to move on to the light experiment that I told you about earlier. And it's a very simple experiment. We're just going to take different brands of fruit leather and shine a light through it and see what happens. So the next slide is one that I've prepared that shows exactly that. We've cut up different brands of fruit leather and passed the light through it. So let's move on to that. So here is the light experiment that we conducted, or at least the results of the light experiment that we conducted. And the experiment, again, is rather simple. We just took a fluorescent light bulb and affixed aluminum foil and cut out some squares, and in those squares put the various brands of fruit leather. And as you can see, there's a pretty big difference in how easily the light passes through the various samples of fruit leather there. The fruit leather sample in the middle is actually a fruit roll-up, and that's there just because it contains so little fruit that it's a good benchmark to judge everything else by. It's also interesting to note that the Trader Joe's brand is actually quite similar to the fruit roll-up. It's fairly translucent, and there's a it's clear as opposed to the Fruitaboo and the Stretch Island, both Kellogg brands, that have kind of a graininess to them. So there appears that there might be a little more fruit in those than actually the Trader Joe's. And of course, then there's the Tether brands that are quite dark, and the reasons for that I think are pretty straightforward. You know, we're using the entire fruit. You're getting the seeds, which are clearly opaque, the white tea leaf, and you can actually see some of that white tea leaf on the strawberry pomegranate there at the far left, and then on the mango goji citrus, but also the various plant pigments, and those were really where your phytonutrients are at. So shining a light through these actually does show an interesting amount of information about what these fruit leather snacks actually contain. We covered a lot of ground today in answering a question about whether fruit snacks are really fruit or are they just fruit sugar. We saw that fruit concentrates make up a good proportion of the ingredients of fruit leather snacks. The process of producing fruit concentrates offers little more than a source of fruit sugar, as nutrient-rich parts of the fruit are removed in that process. Pectin is intentionally removed. Heat destroys nutrients, and even the enzyme process, the enzymization process, can destroy phytonutrients. Our nutritional analysis, although very simple, showed that fruit leather snacks made with concentrates have much higher levels of sugar and much lower levels of dietary fiber. Our simple light experiment showed that fruit leather snacks made with concentrate don't offer much in terms of substance. Light passes readily through those. So all in all, our experiments strongly suggest that a lot of these fruit leather snacks are nothing more than fruit sugar. And that's unfortunate, given that these snacks are, or could be, you know, very healthy, and if they're made from real fruit, they taste exceptionally good. So if we didn't look at one of your brands in today's episode, feel free, and we encourage you to go take a look and scrutinize those brands and see if they're really fruit or just fruit sugar.